So basically, in cases, we are given a certain data, okay, in terms of passages, and then we have to convert that data into tables or whatever best possible manner and find out the answers. So read this data, try to interpret it on your own, and we'll start in 5 minutes. So this data is basically on two states, that is Bihar and Orissa, and then demographic information is given regarding the entire population with respect to Bihar and Orissa. So try to read the entire data and try to take out the data from it. So let us start with the first para. Bihar and Orissa are the most deprived states of India, while they contain one fifth of India's population, which means suppose the population of India is 100, then Orissa and Bihar, that is Bihar and Orissa, these two states itself contain 20%. That is nothing but 1 by 5. Okay, which means 20. So for every 100 people, 20 people are from either are from Bihar or Orissa. Okay, Bihar or Orissa together. So next point, they have almost one third of India's illiterate. Okay, so we'll write down all these data points. That is Bihar and Orissa. Okay, so one third of illiterates are from Bihar and Orissa. Okay, they constitute around 1 by 5th of entire population. Entire population. Okay, so now more than okay, in 1998, a small fraction of Orissa and Bihar's population was literate versus 85% of Kerala's population. So only a small fraction or maybe a negligible part of the total population of Orissa and Bihar was literate. When we compare it to Kerala's population was 85% literate. Now, second point, more than two-thirds of the births are not attended by any medical facility. Okay, so now more than two-third. Okay, more than two-third not attended by any medical facility. Fine. So now 1/10 of the infants born in Orissa and Bihar die in infancy. Okay, so how much? 1/10. Okay, so that is every one infant out of 10 dies in Orissa and Bihar, and an equal number before reaching the age of 5. Okay, and an equal number before reaching the age of 5. Okay, so these are the two important points, that 1/10 of the infants born in Orissa and Bihar die in infancy, and an equal number before reaching the age of 5. Now, last point, almost 90% of the deaths are due to malnutrition. Okay, so that is uh, certain deaths are happening. Okay, certain deaths, and out of which 90% are because of malnutrition. Right. So this is first paragraph done. So now second para. From amongst the lucky kids who have survived for the first 5 years, one third of them work as child laborers. So now the one who are surviving, one third of them work as child laborers. Only half of the remaining are sent to school. Okay, half of the remaining are sent to school. Of those who attend classes, only 40% are able to reach standard fifth in India. In India, standard fifth. In India, 30% of the children work under 16, okay, work as laborers. So okay, so now 30% of the population of the children work under 16 work as laborers. Now Orissa and Bihar contain one third of the child laborers in India. So suppose there are 100 child laborers in India, then 33.33% or 1 by 3 of them are from Orissa and Bihar. Now India has the largest population of child laborers, which is 1 by 15th of its total population. So suppose India has, let's say, 100. Okay, so 100 child. Certain number of child laborers. So 1 by 15th of its population, the total population ka 1 by 15th is its population with respect to child laborers. Now, last paragraph, in Orissa and Bihar, out of 100 children enrolled in school, only 32 are girls. Now, the rest 68 are boys. Out of 100 students who attended standard 10, only 10 are girls. Okay, only 38 of out of 100 Indian women are literate versus 57. So out of every 100, only 38 women are literate, and out of every 100 males, only 57% are literate. Now, even in wealthy states such as Punjab, girls suffer from malnutrition 7 times more than boys do, and the total population of the country was 19 crore in 90 crore in 1998, and the ratio is 10 is to 9. Okay, so look at the given data once again, try to grasp it, and we'll go to the questions. So look at the question once. I will zoom out. Okay. So the question given is, according to the information provided, what percent of the infants in Orissa and Bihar attend standard fifth? Okay. So now, in the first paragraph, look at the last line. That second last line, more than two-thirds of the births are not attended by medical facility. 1/10 infants born in Orissa and Bihar die in infancy, and equal number, which means another 1 by 10th of the total population, which another 1 by 10th equal number reaching the age of 5. So they die before reaching the age of 5, and some die in infancy. Okay, in infancy. So which means, let us consider the total population. Suppose it is 100. Okay. So now out of which 10, that is 1 by 10. Okay, 1 by 10 die at infancy. Okay, and another 10. So we have remaining 90. and another 10 die till the age of 5. Die by 5. Okay, so we have remaining 80% with us. So now, what is the next part? That amongst the lucky kids who survived for the first year, one third of them work as child laborers. So now, if one third go for child laborers, which means 2/3 of the population is lucky enough to go to the schools. Okay, now only half of the remaining students are sent to the school. So now 100 में से 10 चला गया, फिर again 10 चला गया, because 20, that is 2/10 died in infancy and died by the age of 5. Now we have remaining 80, out of which जिसमें से 2/3 are only lucky that they don't work as child laborers. But those who are lucky that they don't work as child laborers, only half of them, that is 1/2, get the opportunity to go to the school. So we'll get something as 80. 2 and 2 will get cancelled out. 80 by 3. Fine. So this is the data we have right now. And last, what has been asked to us is what percentage of the infants, okay, attend standard fifth. So again, second paragraph, second line, of those who attended classes, only 40%. Look at you. Okay, this point. Okay, only 40% are able to send their students to their child to school. So which means again 80 into 40% of 100. So 0 0 gets cancelled out, again 0 0. So we have 32 by 3. If you divide it, you will get 10.66%. Okay, so we have to just follow up the links which are provided in the paragraph and solve it. So I will repeat this one again. So from the first paragraph, focus on the third line of the paragraph. Out of 100, every 10 die in infancy. Again, similar 10 die by the age of 5. So out of 100, if 20 people are gone, we have only 80 left. Okay, and again, out of 80, only 2/3 are not child laborers, which makes the case that they have the opportunity to go to the school. And again, from that 2/3 remaining 50%, which is 1/2, go to the school. So the actual value is 80/3. Again, what the last line says is that 40% are able to reach fifth standard, which means if they are able to reach fifth standard, they can certainly attend fifth standard. So the answer is 10.66. Okay. So the next question, the number of child laborers in India in 1998 are. So if you remember, here there's a point for child laborers. India has the largest population of child laborers, which is 1/15 of its total population. So if the total population is 90 into 1/15, that is 15, 90 divided by 15, which is 6 crores. Yes, 6 crores. So this is question number 2. This is for question number 1. So we have answer as 6 crore. So in Orissa and Bihar, out of 100 born, approximately how many children work as child laborers? So we know that whenever 100 people or 100 certain numbers are born, okay, so 100 are born, only 80% have the opportunity to live up to the age of 5, okay, and afterwards. Okay, so we know 80 is the fixed number. But now what is asked over here, that approximately how many children work as child laborers? Okay, so how many children works as child laborers? Here again it is mentioned 1/3 of them work as child laborers. So 1/3 work as child laborers, so which is 80 into 1/3. So if you divide it, you will get it as 3 to the 6, 26.66 something. And they have asked us approximate value. So the nearby value can be rounded off to 27. So that is 27%. So what percentage of girl children enrolled in school reach standard 10 in Orissa and Bihar? So let us look at the data. Okay, so in the last paragraph, second line, out of 100 student, out of 100 who attend standard 10, only 10 are girls. Okay, only 38 of 100 Indian women are literate versus male, that is 57%. And again, we have data for Punjab. Okay, malnutrition. So there is no certain data provided on students or the number of students or the percentage of students attending standard 10th for Orissa and Bihar. So we have only one option remaining, that is insufficient data. So there is no sufficient data provided. Okay. So in 1998, what is given over here? The literates in Kerala exceeds the literates and UP in Bihar. So again, there was no data or there was no line mentioned regarding UP. So it is data insufficient. Okay, let's move on to the last question. The number of literates in India is, okay. So the number of literates in India is. Let's focus on the data again. So we have now the question is asked about the entire uh, India. Okay. So now they haven't asked us about any particular state, but we have to figure it for India. Okay. So the population is 90 crores. So we have 90 crores ka population. Okay. So now the question asked is total literate people. Okay. So out of the 90 crores, if you look at the ratio of male and female is 10 is to 9. So suppose the population, so as given the population is 90 crore. Okay. Out of which male and female, the ratio is 10 is to 9. So which means the total parts is 19, 10 or 9. So if you divide by 90 divided by 19, which will give you, so okay, so this is giving fraction. Okay, so what we can do is we can keep the data as it is. Okay, so which means if there are total parts 19, which means this constitutes 10 by 19 and this constitutes 9 by 19. Okay, so this is total population. So now let us talk about female literates and male literates, because we are provided with data with respect to male and female. So let us move on to the data again. So 38% are literate and 57% for males. Okay, so for females it is 38%. For males, it is 57%. Okay, so 90 into 9 by 19, which is proportional to the number of females, and for male it is again 10 by 19. Okay, fine. So now into what we'll do is, for females, out of every 100, how many were literate? 38% were literate. And similarly for men, how many were literate? 100. So what we have done is, we have taken the entire population, and by applying 9 by 19 and 10 by 19, we have taken out the respective population for female and male. After that, we have focused on the percentage of literate, that is 38% for females and 57% for males. So if we calculate, we get the exact data. So this and this gets cancelled out. 19 ones are 19 twos are. Okay. So you will have 81 into 2 upon 10. So that is 16.2 CR. Again, we have to find out 57%. So 57 is nothing but 9 threes are. Okay. 9 threes are. This 0 and 0 gets cancelled out. This 0 gets cancelled out. So we have 27 CR. So we now need to combine the total. So now, if we combine the total, that is 16.2 plus 27, which will give us 43.2 CR. So the answer is option C. Okay, so this was with the case one. You have to read the data, then again you have to interpret it. So now let us revise this one. So firstly, we'll focus on the main key points that were necessary to solve this data. That this information based was based on Bihar and Orissa. 1/10 of the 1/10 born in Orissa and Bihar died in infancy, and equal number of people died before reaching the age of 5, which means every 2 out of 10 born were dead before the age of 5. Also, 90% of the population died under 5 died due to malnutrition. Again, one third of them were child laborers. 2 by third, that is 2 by 3, were not child laborers. But again, the 2 by 3, that is 66.66%. Again, exact the half, that is only half were sent to school. And then in the second line of the second paragraph, we were provided with the data that 40% were able to reach standard fifth. And again, we had data with respect to child laborers, total population of child laborers in India, and finally, in the last paragraph, the total male and the men and women literacy ratio or literacy percentage. Okay, so next one is a small case. Try to read it, take 5 minutes, and we'll try to solve this one. So basically, this is a sales related information. So I will give you one hint how to solve this. Write the company name below, then write the total sales, then expenses and profit. Okay, put it down into a table, so it will be easier for you to understand. George has certainly recently acquired shares of four companies. That is Asian Paints, so we'll write it as AZ, BMW, BMZ, Chevu, that is CW, and Dataman, that is DT. Okay, so we'll write down all the. Now put down the data. Try to. Okay, so let us start with the first sentence. Okay, well, the financial results of these companies for the financial year ended 2002 to 2003 reveal these interesting facts. Okay, try to read the facts. What is given over there? Okay, so profits of AZ were 10% of its sales. So if sales of AZ was X, so the profit will be 0.1x. Okay, while the profits for BMZ were 20% of its sales. So if this is Y, so this will be 0.2Y. Okay, next, while the profits of CW and DT were the same, so we'll say this as ANA. Okay, let's consider this as ANA. Okay, now the total expenses of CW were 400% more than its profit. Okay, and while the sales where it is, and while the sales for DT were 200% more than its profit. Okay, so the expenses were like A plus 400%, and for here it will be A plus 200%. The total expenses of CW were 10 million, okay, and were 11.11% more than those of AZ. Okay, so this is, if this is what is given, the total expenses for CW. Okay, CW were 10. Okay, 10 millions. Okay, so whatever numbers are mentioned over here, they are in million. Okay, and the total expenses of CW were 11.11% more. Okay, 11.11% means 1 by 9. Okay, so let us put it down. Okay, so the total expenses of CW were 10 million, and the total expenses. So just see, 11% is nothing but 1 by 9. For this to be more than 1 by 9, we need to have this number as 9. Okay, so whenever we say that CW jo hai, that is 11.11% more. Okay, so 11.11 is nothing but 1 by 9. So if you take it out, if you take out that 11.11%, so this will be 9 and this will be 10. Okay, so now 400% means nothing but divide by 5. So 400% means it is getting 5 times the initial number. So this has to be 2, this has to be 2, and similarly this will be 200% more than it. Okay, so 200%. So 100% itself is nothing but 100, that is 2, and again 200, 100% more. So this will become 4. Okay, okay. So now what is given over here? That is, if expenses are 10 and profit is 2, which will become 12. Expenses, which is sales, is equal to expense plus profit. So now this will be 6 over here. Okay, so now the sales of CW were the same of those of BMZ. So CW, and this will also be 2L. If this is 2L, so this is 20%. This will become 2.4, and this will become what? 2L minus 2.4, that is 9.6. Okay, and finally, if this is 10% of the sales, which means this is 90% of the sales. Okay, so if this is 90%, so if 90% represents as 9, so which means 10% will represent as 1. So this is 10. So I will write it down this again. Okay, so we have company, we have sales, we have expense, and we have profit, which means AZ, BMZ, CW, and DT. So sales was 10, 12, 12, 6. So this will be 9 and 1. This is 9.6. This is 2.4. Okay, this is 10. This is 2. This is 4. This is 2. Okay. So which company? So let's move on to the questions. Which company had the lowest total expense? So total expense was lowest for DT. Okay. So now which company had lowest profits? So the lowest profit was reported by AZ. In the next year, if the profits of AZ were equal to CW's current profit, so which means there was 11.1111% increase, that is 1 by 9. Okay, okay, then with an increase of 12.5% in the sales, what would be the profit of the AZ? So if this is becoming similar to CW, which means this will for expense will be 10, and sales will is right now is 10. So which means it will increase by 12.5, that is 25%. Okay, so this will become 12.5. So the profit will be 2.5%. Okay, so 2.5. Sorry, my mistake. It should be if this is 10, then it should be 12.5% increase, which becomes 112.5. Okay. Uh, that is 11.25. Sorry. And finally, we have the profit as 2. Okay, so we have profit as current profit. Okay, so profit over here is 2. Okay, so 2 upon 11.25. So this will be around, if you calculate, this will be around 17.77%. Okay. If the profits of DT and BMZ were to be exchanged, what would be the ratio of profit percentage for sales of these two companies? Okay, so the profit of DT and BMZ, so which means iska profit ho jayega 2 and this is 2.4. So now profit percentage for BMZ will be how much? 2 upon 12. Okay, and for DT it will be 2.4 upon 6. So if I'm to take out the percentage, this is 1 by 6, which is 16.66%, and this is 1.2 2 and this is 50 So that is 1 by 2 5, it becomes 4%. Okay, so sorry, this is 6, so this will become 40%. Okay, this is 6. Okay, not 60. So the profit percentage is asked for DT is 40% is to 16.66%. So if you calculate this, you will get 5, or maybe you will get this as 1 by 6. So 40 upon 100, that becomes 2 upon 5. You will have 1 upon 6. So this will become 12 is to 5 cross multiplication. What is the ratio of the highest and the lowest profit? Highest profit is how much? 2.4, and lowest profit is 1. So that is 2.4 is to 1. Okay, so that is, if you do, you will get the answer as you will get the answer as 12 by 5. If you divide by this 2, you will have 1.2 and zero point 0.5, which is 12.5. So take a look at this. I hope it's clear because this one was an easy set. So this is it for cases. We'll end the session now. If there are any doubts, you can contact us. We'll meet in the next lecture for next Friday.